Thank you guys for tuning back in. Overtime Live Sportsbook Radio. How y'all doing today? Saturday the 17th. We're getting ready for a big weekend. We got UFC. We got the NFL Conference Championships, as well as getting ready for the big part of the NBA weekend. We got a special guest host with us here today. Arthur Pickich is here. Saints fan, professional video poker player, coming here to give us some tips and tricks, his picks on this weekend's games and the controversy in the news today. We got a lot of sports news going on. How you doing, Arthur?
I'm good. How about you, Bart?
Oh, I can't complain, bro. Back in the game. You know how it is. What you doing this week?
Just serving drinks and
still
my Tigers won.
Tigers pulled it off, huh? How'd you feel about that game?
It proves why Burrow got the Heisman Trophy.
Number one overall, clearly, huh?
Yep.
No competition.
Not just him alone, but that is a brutal offense, and I think 3 straight postseason games in a row, they proved to Dabo Swinney that he has met his match.
Dabo Swinney's still one of the best coaches in college football. Might be second or third if you've taken the top 3. Ed Orgeron, I don't believe he's going to be able to do that again without Burrow because of Burrow's abilities, but damn was Burrow impressive, man.
Well, Miles Brennan, I'm telling you, he was an all-star at Stanislaus, and a lot of people, especially locals, naturally are excited to see what he's got to bring to the 2020 season. I think he's going to live up to it. I saw some of his, second quarter when they took Burrow out because they were up so high. Granted, I'm not saying right off the bat he's going to be a Joe Burrow because, hell, not a lot of people are.
It's hard to put up those numbers. He broke records this year for SEC,
Yeah, I'm just glad to be on the winning end of it, seeing as how huge Who Dat fan, Saints, we can sum up what I think about them. They weren't ready, and neither were the Vikings because it was a dismal performance between both
We'll get
teams.
to the NFL here soon. I know you got a lot on your chest about that,
Yeah.
but overall, what did you think about Clemson at the end of the game?
I would say just, they weren't ready. Especially I like how they saved Edwards-Helaire till the fourth quarter, and he was fully charged. And I know that was a strategy. And, they beat them. The people that bet Clemson or bet on the game itself, if you bet LSU, nobody saw them blowing the spread out of the water.
Nobody did. They came in at what was the spread when they came in?
I want to say it started out at like 5.5, and then they
moved.
They bumped it up to like 8 or 9.5.
It was at almost 8 before the game kicked off.
Then,
so yeah.
And the longevity of that offense. You saw it, and Erica saw it.
It was an amazing performance. Wide receivers, offensive lines, quarterback, coaching. It was just hands down a blowout. Very proud to be a part of it. Very proud to see it.
And it's not just Joe Burrow. When you got, I look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase as like a Breeze, Michael Thomas matchup. They're just so good, and I know that when you get to the NFL, things change, but the fundamentals of Burrow and him, nobody saw Michael Thomas being as great as he is.
I don't know. Michael Thomas was quite a beast in college.
Yeah, you're right. He was. But anyway, yeah. In the fourth quarter, 3 minutes into it, I said, LSU. I was confident, and it was pretty much a gimme at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
What do you see Burrow doing in pros? Obviously going to a horrible team.
Well, yeah, he's going to go to a terrible team. His fundamentals, which, having said that, anything being a team effort, if he doesn't have that surrounding cast, you can't see his full potential because players make other players look good and vice versa. You got to have, I mean, you got to have quarterbacks have to have a plug, if you will, which is their receiver. And when both people dominate their game, I mean,
there's nothing you can do about
it.
You know, it comes down to offensive performance, and you have bench performance, and then it gets down to coaching. Man, you're going to lose players every game. You're always going to have to go to your benches and adjust to your lineup. So,
I think that. But speaking on LSU, I think that they have a really good shot next year, but do I say that they duplicate this year?
It's impossible.
That is, I mean, the numbers and the stats. It's just.
Well, you got to look at what Burrow was able to accomplish as far as the SEC records he broke. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't see that. I mean, it's been a long time coming. The SEC is clearly the best conference.
All I got to say is 500 plus yards against Clemson in offense.
Forget about what he did against Clemson the whole season, man. The schedule was so tough.
But I'm saying the most important game, and Clemson is obviously the best team that they played. Because even I said, even after they blew Georgia out, even after they blew the Sooners out, I said, guys, and because I'm a realist and I'm not going to deny facts, you know, Dabo Swinney beat Nick Saban 2 years in a row, and I took that into account. I said this is going to be a tight game. I really surprised myself watching football like I do at the end when I saw that, you know, they won by 17. They killed the spread. I was like, you know,
that was a blowout. Nobody expected that coming. If you turn back with you live overtime, we're just discussing Antonio Brown and how Odell Beckham Jr.'s recent actions have been very conclusive to how Antonio Brown ended up where he is. So, you know.
I mean, I just chalk it up to.
He goes from peeing like a dog, then he gets caught in a cocaine video with a model. Next thing you know, he's smacking an LSU security guard on the butt in the locker room, trying to make a joke, trying to make a statement for himself. He already got away with giving away the money, you know.
I mean, you know, you could say. Say what you want, but he should be more of an ambassador of goodwill to the younger players, or, you know, I mean, honestly, I haven't seen behavior that ridiculous at an NFL or a championship game, period. College, NFL, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just totally just narcissistic behavior.
Well, you notice it's become a trend amongst these young speedster or wide receivers. I mean, as far as I can remember, maybe Michael Irvin was the beginning of it, but you got Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah, but it's never been
Terrell Owens.
And this is a guy that plays for my team.
I mean, yeah.
And I am thoroughly disappointed. And, I mean, you know, and you see it's more of a trend these days. And it's really, honestly, because the NFL does not, or college, however you want to put it, they're not making an example out of these guys because there's plenty of young talent out there that wants a shot. But, like, take somebody like Ndamukong Suh. How many times has he crossed the line?
Well, look at Richie Incognito. He's one of the highest paid players on the line, you know.
But I mean,
he's made every offense possible. It just depends on who you are, what you look like, and what they're willing to deal with, you know.
Right, and you know, I get it. It's a business. They're worried about their bottom line. Number one, they don't want to lose, you know, fan base, blah blah blah. But there's a lot more fans that are sick of it, and than you hear about. I can guarantee you. I mean, sportsmanship is sportsmanship. Field play, however you want to put it. If you want to act like that off the street, fine. You know, I don't suggest it because it's all a habit, and just like, you know, athletes that grew up in a negative environment, or like we talked about Hernandez.
A lot of them have.
Yeah, but I mean, I tell you what, if you want to see a guy that overcame adversity and spoke his mind about it, Richard Sherman is a fine example.
Richard Sherman.
He is just a stand-up guy.
One of the top cornerbacks in the league.
Hell, he might get him another championship.
My
money's on San Francisco. I think
it was man coverage.
Precursor.
I get tired of hearing. Oh man, he's a zone corner. I get tired of hearing the excuses.
However you want to put it.
However you want to put it.
But I say he does get his second title, and I think it's going to be San Francisco and Tennessee.
Okay, well that leads us to our big title conference games this weekend. Who's going to take home the big trophies? I feel like these little conference championships are just as good as winning a Super Bowl. They go in a Super Bowl and they just free roll it. You did everything you could do. You're there now, and then what can you do? So this year we're going to start with the AFC. AFC, we have 9-7 versus 12-4. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming in at a 7-point favor. Total point score is going to be 53 as of right now.
And that's
so who are you taking?
That's Frisco and Tennessee. Yeah.
No, that's the AFC. It's Kansas City and Tennessee.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tennessee beat the Patriots.
I'm telling you,
Tennessee
is peaking right now.
They're hot right
They have
now.
progressively gotten better. They beat Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, and nobody saw that coming.
Nobody saw it coming.
The point of it is, this time of year is all that matters. It doesn't matter what you did before postseason. It's one game and done.
It doesn't matter regular season.
Look at my team, the Saints. They got fried the first game.
They didn't,
I mean, the Vikings, and honestly, neither team, it was just a dismal performance from both sides, but in the end, the Falcons,
see, the Saints, we're always thinking about the Falcons. What do you think about the Saints season this year? How do you feel about it? Are you satisfied with the results? I mean, you had a Pro Bowl caliber season. Everybody's breaking records. Michael Thomas, best wide receiver in the league. Drew Brees, still
Brees and Thomas are
what do you
ebony and ivory. They're going to do their thing.
What do you grade it on a scale of A, B, C, D?
Well, they made a couple of late defensive changes, so to speak. I think they get Latavius Murray more active. He's a big-bodied north and south runner. Take some of the load off of Kamara. Obviously, Kamara pretty much got shut down the last half of the season. He had a couple of good runs toward the bitter end, but it was still dismal. It was
dismal.
Kamara is way more capable than that, as he's shown.
He was still blessed to make the Pro Bowl this year.
Right. I agree.
He was.
Like I said, it's, I'm a realist. It's my team, but I'm going to tell you, they weren't ready. The Vikings.
Who do you blame?
Well, honestly, I think that I definitely don't blame Michael Thomas. That goes without saying. The dude is damn near
best wide receiver in the league.
Oh no, that's without a doubt. But he's almost Christ-like.
He's a Hall of Famer already.
He doesn't drop. He doesn't drop.
Passes.
I think Brees' hand, I don't think it's fully healed. And he would never say that because he doesn't want to be sat on the bench, nor would I. But I think he's been playing kind of limp the whole year. I think he definitely hasn't lost his vision, because he's still always, and thank God he's got somebody as brilliant as Michael Thomas. But I don't think Breezy's done yet. He's older. He can't throw the long ball, blah, blah, blah. But
who do you trade?
Well, first, Eli Apple. Eli Apple is...
Eli's gone.
He's
shipping him, huh? What are you getting for him, man? You're not getting a pick for him. Some money?
I mean, maybe. I'm going to tell you what, though. Most impressively on defense, the Mike linebacker, Demario Davis, the dude is as good, in my opinion, as good as Cam Jordan or Sheldon Rankins or any of the other, or for that matter.
There's nobody in that team that's as good as Cam Jordan.
Well, it's a different position as well. He's a DN. He's a middle linebacker. But Demario Davis, ever since we acquired him from the Jets, I mean, the dude, I pay close attention to him, and he makes little mistakes.
Very few, huh?
I think that is by far the best player we have gotten in the past 2 years, and he is, man of God. The NFL shamed him for wearing. He's not allowed to wear a bandana like that, but he can praise Allah or do whatever, but can't. Yeah. Anyway,
which brings us to this weekend's games. Who are you taking? You have the spreads?
I do not.
Both of the spreads have shifted for this weekend's games. Each are moving a half of a point in the favor of the other one. Obviously, San Francisco is getting most of the bets. They've moved to 7.5. And in the other game, Green Bay is not looking good. So we'll see what happens with that. But the Chiefs game, the Chiefs have moved to 7.5, meaning that everybody's betting on the Chiefs. So
one thing I don't like about Tennessee, and do at the same time, Derrick Henry is their biggest strong point.
He's their only strong point.
He is.
Tannehill had 88 yards last week.
He's a very strong, physical, and way young running back. You're only seeing the beginning of his career.
He's a Heisman.
Yeah.
He's Mark Ingram. He'll move around.
He's better than Mark Ingram ever was.
Yeah.
He's better than Mark Ingram ever was. And not only is he a powerhouse north and south running back, he can also cut the corners. And he's I mean, this is raising the bar, but kind of like a Barry Sanders.
He looks like Barry Sanders. He does. He's stronger, though.
It's strong,
I saw Tyron, your honey badger, said that he almost broke his jaw. They have video of him.
Look at him. He's 6'3", 245 pounds.
That's crazy. So anyway, for the AFC, we have the 9-7 Tennessee Titans coming in to see the Kansas City Chiefs at 12-4. Chiefs are going to be a -7 favorite opening up, and it's actually a move to a 7.5. Everybody's taking the Chiefs. Over still going to be 53 points. Tennessee's defense is what stood out last week. They had 5 fourth-down stops and 5 takeaways. Kansas City, on the other hand, broke records last week. They really showed out. They erased a 24-point deficit at Arrowhead, and they're going back to their home stadium. 6th in the league, yards per game. Very few injuries. I mean, Tennessee's dealing with some wide receiver injuries, and Kansas City, defensive tackle Chris Jones is still going to be out. LaShawn McCoy's not going to be playing. I don't know who's playing behind Pat Mahomes because Matt Moore is questionable. And Travis Kelce's been dealing with injuries for the last few weeks. So we're looking to see if Kansas City can cover a full touchdown. I think it will be even closer to that. Looks like a field goal game to me, so I'm going to take the underdog. And I'm going to run with Tennessee and assume that Derrick Henry can put up another 180-yard game. Keep his streak alive. Who are you taking there, Steve?
I mean, defenses win championships.
With the spread, though, 7 points.
I'm gonna take Tennessee.
It's jumping back and forth between 7 and 7.5. You might be able to go into a William Hill casino or MGM right now and get it at 6.5. Of course, you can buy points, but for spread's sakes.
if I'm rolling with the spread,
definitely Tennessee,
well, I mean, that changes things.
It's a tough call. Kansas City's defense has been flip-flopping all year.
Money line, I'm telling you, I don't know why my gut says Tennessee. Nobody even saw them getting as near this close. No, definitely didn't see them beating Baltimore, and they schooled Baltimore. I don't know. Now, winning the Super Bowl, that's a different ball game.
Different story, huh?
Right. Especially if San Francisco goes, which that's what I'm calling. Because San Francisco's defense.
Who are you taking?
If it's Tennessee and San Francisco, I'm taking San Francisco.
Who are you taking out of Tennessee and Kansas City with 7.5 points?
Money line, I'm taking Tennessee.
You're going to take Tennessee money line. That's a good pick, man. That's a good way to do it, man.
Yeah.
If you're going to take them straight up, you might as well take a money line. We're going to move to the NFC, where we have the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers looking for his second Super Bowl win. Going into Levi Stadium, home field advantage. What do you want to do over there in San Fran? It's not Lambeau anymore,
No, home field, definitely home field advantage. San Francisco's got that. San Francisco, I would say, you got Devontae Adams and you got Adam Jones is up and down. He is a great running back when he's on, but when he's not on, they shut him down, it seems like. I'm going with Joey Bosa and the powerhouse defense of San Francisco. I just think they're gonna put the kibosh. They're gonna double cover Devontae Adams. It's kind of like Breeze and Michael Thomas. You shut that connection down.
It's going to help you win the game.
You got Geronimo and you got a couple other guys. Jimmy Graham, he has his moments and he might go a couple games he's hot, but I know I retort back to New Orleans a lot, but since he's left there, he really hasn't been much anything for any team.
You're right.
He's got his moments, but it's not that, that 1-2 connection.
It's just not there anymore.
Right.
He really doesn't show much effort at all. I think it being in probably the top 10 paid tight ends in the league or whatever.
I don't see where it's at.
But, it's a tough call. You're going in Levi Stadium. It's their 8th postseason meeting. In 2013, Phil Dawson kicked a field goal to beat them as time expired. So, in Week 12, Garoppolo played Green Bay, and he put up his 145.8 passer rating.
And then, yes,
his
let's bring it back
ever.
to that.
His highest ever.
They basically wiped their ass with Green Bay.
So,
that defense shut the offense down.
San Fran's coming in this game at number 2 in opponent yards per game and number 4 in offensive yards per game. I think that San Fran's going to get it done as far as covering that point spread. I don't know. The over is going to be sitting at 46.5. My parlay ticket, the only one I have going for this game, is still got the LSU money line on it at minus 210, and we got Packers +7 and Chiefs minus 7.5. And that's going to be my only bet for the weekend. And we're going to take a break. We're going to open up the mixed martial arts category. We got UFC 246 coming up January 18th. McGregor and Cowboy Cerrone. We're going to give it up. Get some reviews about the card.